So what's up, Africana fam? I already have my eyes prepped and some tape to clean up my eyeshadow, and I'm going to my Chocolates palette from Juvia's Place, and I'm placing that on my lid and my crease, and I'm creating this wing kind of effect with it. Now going into my Morphe 9D palette, I'm using that orange just to use that as our transition shade. And I'm going back into that brown just to deepen up the crease. Then I'll be using my ColourPop Black Lippy Stick, and I'm going to use an angled brush just to create my wing. So today's wing is going to be a little bit on the smoky side, so I'm using a kind of creamy base, well, black base as my wing just so we can smoke it out in the end. So go ahead and create your wing, mamita, and then we're going to go ahead and smoke it out. And to smoke it out, I went into my Morphe 35B palette, which is unfortunately discontinued. I had this palette for about 2 years, so it's been discontinued for a minute now. But I'm going into that, and I'm using that black shade and a small buffer brush just to buff it out and to smoke it out. Now I'm just going to go ahead and take off the tape just so we can see what we're working with, and as you guys can see, that line is crisp. Now onto the jewels, you guys. So I'm using my dual lash glue, the green one, and I have these gems that I have got off of Amazon. They were like $10 and they come in different sizes. So I'm starting off with the big sizes first, and then I'm going into the smaller ones, and I'm just kind of placing them sporadically. You don't want to have them too clumped up together. And yeah, this is how I'm looking. So now I'm using my Neutrogena Hydro Boost moisturizer. I'm just going to go ahead and moisturize my face, and then I'll be using my Milk Cosmetics Hydro Boost primer to prime my face, and then I'll be going in with my calamine lotion to mattify my face. You want to make sure that the milk primer is dry first before you apply the calamine lotion, and then you're going to let the calamine lotion dry as well before you apply your foundation. Onto foundation, I am using my Fenty Pro Filter foundation in the color 480, and I'm using my Real Techniques buffer brush, well, Instapot buffer brush, just to buff that onto my skin. And then I'll be going in with the smaller brush that I had got from Sephora just to get the nicks and crannies of my face, because that brush is a little bit too big when it comes to smaller parts of my face. Then I'll be using my Fenty Pro Filter concealer in the color 470, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply that underneath the highlighted areas that I want to highlight, and also fix up that wing liner as well. And I went ahead and highlighted my nose off camera, but now I'm going in with my beauty blender, well, damp beauty blender, and you just want to make sure that you blend out all of the highlighted parts that you highlighted with your concealer. Now I'm using my foundation brush just to buff out any of lines of demarcation that I have from the concealer. And I let the concealer underneath my eyes bake a little longer than the rest of my face, just because I wanted more of a highlighted look and for my under eyes to really pop, and for the discoloration underneath my under eyes to go away. So this will just help more so with the saturation of my concealer. And I'm also learned this technique from Jackie Aina. So what I'm doing right now is I'm buffing out the outsides first, and then I'm gonna go and work myself into the eyes and work with that last, just so again to help with the saturation of the concealer. And you want to make sure that you don't buff out too much underneath the eyes, because you're removing product as you're doing that. So yeah, it was a great tip that I learned from my sis Jackie Aina, my auntie Aina or whatever. So yeah. Now I'll be using my Maybelline Age Rewind in the color Hazelnut as, you know, the brightening effect of the concealer. So I'm using 2 concealers. Like she said, you want to just kind of pack it on just so that you can have like a nice and uplifted look. So I put that underneath my eyes as well as like my mustache or whatever, and I let that sit for a little bit, and I started to blend it out. and this just really helps. Like, I don't know if you guys will see a difference, but I feel like I see a difference, and like my face looks like it's naturally done. Like I look like I'm a newborn baby. Now to set my under eyes and the rest of my face, I'm using my Benign powder in the color Chestnut. This powder is more so kind of closer to my skin tone than my Laura Mercier, so I'm using that first. And this is another trick I learned from Jackie Aina. Like, you want to use a powder that's closer to your foundation shade first, and then go in with the lighter color. And again, like, this just helps more so with, like, you know, the color payoff, as well as, like, you know, photographing yourself. Like, you don't really have like a casty you know, flashback and stuff. So yeah, I'm just applying that all over my face, and then I'm using my Laura Mercier translucent powder in the color Medium Deep just underneath my eyes. Now on to contour. I am using my Saharan Blush Palette Volume 2, and I'm using that dark color Abby to contour around my face. So pretty much wherever you didn't highlight, you're going to contour. So I'm just applying it on my forehead as well as on my cheekbones as well, or underneath my cheekbones. And then as well as my nose. And I'm just using this small buffer brush to contour my nose. Then I'll be going in with the remaining powder on my sponge just to kind of shape out my contour lines. And now I'll be going in with my P. Louise base in Ruby 0.5. This is just going to be an eyeshadow primer for our pop of color, guys. So I'm using the MYO Makeup Neon Pigments, and I'm using that pink pigment with a small buffer brush, and I'm just applying that on the places where I applied the P. Louise base at. And I'm just using this little brush just to remove the fallout that I had. And then I mixed that same neon pigment with water, and I made a thick consistency just to waterline my under eye. And now I'm going back in with the same colors that I was using. So I'm using that burnt orange, and then using a brown to tightline underneath my eyes. And now introducing my lashes, you guys. This is the packaging. This is how you are going to receive it once my website drops May 16th. So stay tuned, you guys. These are my signature lashes in the style Africana. So I went ahead and applied that off camera. And now I'll be using my MAC Studio Fix powder in the color NW58 just to kind of set the rest of my face and to get rid of the excess powder that I have on my face. And this would just kind of bring my face into, like, you know, an even tone with no lines of demarcations, and everything just blend nicely together. And now going back into the Saharan palette, we're using the color Neo as our blush. And then I cut up some old lashes that I had, and I used them as, you know, under lashes. And I only used one, so one on each side. So you guys are going to see how it looks after the fact. Now I'll be going into my Artist Couture loose highlighter in the color Conceited. I'm just going to apply that at the button of my nose and the bridge of my nose, just to give myself a little, you know, cute little highlight, and also on the cupid's bow of my lips. Now I'm going in with my NYX lip liner in the color Espresso, and then I'm going to go in with a black lip liner as well, just to kind of deepen it up, because I couldn't find my dark brown lip pencil and it was pissing me off. So, you know, I had to improvise. So if you can't find one, if you have a really light brown and a black pencil, just mix it up all together to make it a dark brown. That's my philosophy. It's science, it's color. So yeah, I just kind of went back and forth just to mix those two colors in so I could get like this dark brown. Now I'll be going into the Uma Beauty matte lipstick in the color Eartha, and I'm just going to apply that on my lips and kind of just, you know, try to mix it up a little bit together just so we can have a nice gradient effect. And then I'll be going into my NYX Butter Gloss in the color Tirasumi. I'm just going to apply that all over my lips. And now I'll be going in with my Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. I'm just going to spray all over my face and then use my foundation brush just to kind of pat in and press in that setting spray so it can really set our face, you guys. And these are pretty much the finished results, you guys. Stay tuned for the finished look, you know, after I put on my wig and everything. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you have not. Turn on those post notifications and click that bell so you guys can get the drop before it drops. I see you guys later. And also too, follow my lash line IG at Africana Luxury Lashes. Dropping May 16th. Y'all already know what time it is. Your girl is out here. Y'all be asking me for my lashes and y'all finally getting it. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I'll catch y'all in the next segment. Deuces.